old pal Rob. Today we are going to be talking about a game that is coming to Kickstarter, and that is Legacy of Atmos. Okay, the Tellius Crusade. This is a very, very interesting game. They asked for me to take a look at it, and I decided to take a chance and take a look at it. This is a tabletop miniature game that you're going to be constructing decks of cards that are going to help you, and it has a couple of unique things that I'm going to show you, particularly the dark and the light fate, and how that's going to affect some of the battles that you're going to be trying to accomplish, because you're going to be trying to accomplish certain goals to gain supremacy points, which are going to help you win that particular battle. We're going to go down to the table. I am not going to be able to explain everything. I'm going to show you some of the miniatures, and all this stuff is prototype stuff, and for prototype stuff it's actually pretty gorgeous, and I was quite shocked. The size of this board is enormous, so there's just no way that I'm going to be able to get everything into screen that I'd hope to, or explain everything I can, but I want to show you how combat works, some of the things with the dark and light. I want to show you the deck. I want to show you the fate cards and things like that. So let's go down to the table, take a look at this, and hopefully during the campaign I might do a live playthrough. We'll see if we can make that happen. All right, so let's go down to the table and check this out. Well, the first thing I want to show you is this enormous board. I mean, this thing just takes up such a huge part of my table that it's going to be impossible to kind of show you everything that's going on here. And the figures are just really cool. And I'm going to talk a little bit about both factions here, and things like that. This game is a tabletop miniature game that's played pretty much on this board here, and it's a really interesting in how it works. So I'm going to take some time and we're going to talk about this a bit. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you some of these miniatures, and it's really just some really, I mean, these are just prototypes and they're just really cool, and I really like what they're doing here. Okay, now these are not the final sculpts or miniatures. These are just prototypes, and they did a nice job. It looks like they were 3D printed, but boy, the detail and the imagination here is really something special. So there's a really rich story between the two houses here. There's the Great House of Ronin and the Tellius Commune, led by their soul star god, Athenal. Okay, I'm butchering some of these names because I've never seen it. I haven't said some of these things. The game is going to be broken down into a couple of things. Okay, it is a skirmish-based war game broken into several phases. Now, I'm not going to go through all the phases and everything like that, but I'm going to give you a brief overview of a few things here, and really just kind of show you some of the things, like I was showing you some of the really unique figures that you're going to be getting, and a lot of them are just really unique and cool. I mean, look at this dude with the hammer. I mean, come on, really, and just all kinds of different, really unique and really fascinating type of things, like this dude in a mech suit and stuff like that. So you're going to have this pre-game phase that you're going to start, and this is where you're going to build your your deck. You're going to have this deck here, and it's going to have different types of tactics and spells and things like that that are going to help you along. That is going to help you during the phases. Then you're going to have a strategic phase where you're going to draw cards from your deck, replenish your mana, and new fate spell cards are revealed. And the fate spell cards are going to be revealed, and I want to show this to you guys, onto this this deck here. Now you can use these fate tokens, okay, that you're going to be accumulating depending on what you have. You're going to start each game. Now there's going to be a corruption side, and there's going to be a preservation card side, and then you're going to draw a certain amount of these cards out each turn. You're going to have a chance to purchase these, okay, with light or fate tokens that you're going to have. Depending on your alignment, it's going to depend on what you have, and they're going to do different types of abilities that are going to help you along. So you're going to have a choice in your strategic phase whether you want what you're going to do. You're going to see the cards, and then you're going to decide, well, gee, I may want to buy these. But if you buy one of these, say for instance you buy that, this is taken from the game and gone forever, and you're never going to be able to get it back again. During your action phase, you're going to be able to move, you're going to be able to perform range attacks. You're going to measure everything out, of course. You're going to have melee attacks, you're going to cast spells, or you can use abilities. Now, one of the main things, of course, is fighting. And for instance, we're going to take these two individuals, and I'm just going to show you a quick melee combat and how the system works. And it primarily works the same way as far as with a range attack as well. Now, for this particular combat, we are going to be using the High Lord Godfrey Ronin. Now, he has a movement skill. These are his hit points, and you're going to have these cards, and they're going to tell you everything that you need. His SP points, which is his spirit points. This is kind of like morale. And what's going to happen is you're going to roll 2 dice, and you have to roll under this number. So there are certain things that can affect this number, but as you can see, he's at a morale 12, so he's not going to break that easy. He doesn't have a range skill or a doesn't have a range skill. He has a melee skill. FT is... Now, this here is his fortitude, okay? Anytime he gets hit, he's going to soak up 1 damage, okay? If this number was higher, he would soak up 2. You have an armor save roll, okay? If you roll over a 5, well, guess what? You are going to obliterate all kinds of damage. Above that, if you had something called a divine save, okay, you can stack this, and you can use a divine save. So if you failed at your armor save, and if you had a divine save, which I don't see here, he could roll and even save even then. Remember, your hit points are only 6. Okay, so all these saves and everything like that are really going to come in handy. Now, how we're going to determine, okay, we're going to have High Lord Godfrey the Ronin attack our beast here in melee combat. Everything goes off his sword of legacy. Okay, he's going to get 2 attacks, so he's going to roll 2 dice, and he's going to do 3 damage on each dice. He's going to be attacking our friend here, who is Olafan Blood Creek. Okay, and what he has to do is get 2 plus 2. Now, a 1 always fails, and a 6 always is a success. So he's going to roll 2 dice here, and we're going to see what happens here. Well, a 1 is always a fail, and a 6 is always a success. So he's going to attempt to do 3 points of damage against him. And by doing that, we're going to take a look. He's got 3 points coming through. Now, he absorbs 1 because of his fortitude, so that leaves 2 left. So now he's going to roll a die, and on a 5 or higher, which he did not get, he got a 4. Now he's going to absorb 2 points of damage. So we would mark him with 2 points of damage. He has 8, so he's now down to 6 points of hit points. And that's basically how combat works. Now, with that said, I want to talk about some interesting points here. You are given these tokens at the beginning of the game. You're going to have 3 dark and 3 light. Okay? The dark makes your opponent re-roll. The light, you can re-roll anything. So say we're not happy with that. Boy, I can do better than a 2 plus. Okay, he had a 1 and a 6, and he decides to use his light token and says, well, I'm going to re-roll this. And he gets a 4 and a 6. So now that's 6 damage. 1 goes by, and that would do 5 points of damage. Now he only has 8, so that's pretty devastating to him because he'll be down to 3 hit points. Here's the thing, he can take his Dark Fate and say, no, my friend, you are going to re-roll that, okay, and take a chance. Now you can only use this once per turn, and, well, he gets a 6 and a 5, so it's even worse. So he's going to do 5 points of damage. He's going to re-roll. He's going to roll to try to stop. Remember, 1 is absorbed through the Fortitude, and he's going to roll, and he gets a 2. He needed a 5. If he didn't burn this, he could have used this to re-roll it. And, well, he would have got a 6 and made all the damage go away. But he didn't. He decided to try to make him re-roll to not take the 6 damage. So you can see where these become very strategic. And like I said earlier, with the fate cards, if you use these up and decide to pull a fate card in, well, you're going to lose that for good. You're not going to be able to get that fate token back. A very interesting twist and strategic. How important is this particular battle to you? What does it mean, and how does how does it affect you? So it adds such an interesting element because you have to determine where you want to pick your points to make sure that you win a battle. The main thing here, now if you think you're just coming in here and smashing each other up, no, there are zone objectives that you are going to want to get supremacy points. Supremacy points are very important in this game because those are the points that you are going to attribute in order to win the battle. But there are also gambits, okay? You're going to be trying to capture gambits, because gambits are like secret objectives that you're going to have, secret strategic goals that you're going to want to get, that are going to happen on the battlefield that your opponent aren't going to know, that are going to give you supremacy points. So this really is, it's not just about battling out with each other as much as it is being smart in how you are going to go about getting the gambits and the zone objectives and winning overall, and how you're going to use your fate, your spells, because you're going to have cards. You're going to draw 5 cards. You're going to have tactic cards in here as well as spell cards that are going to help you along the way. The next phase is the spirit phase. If everybody fights and you find that half your army is going to be slain, well, you're going to be testing off that spirit number, like you said, and you're going to roll 2 dice. And for instance, he had a 12. I rolled a 6. His army is going to stand tall, and they're going to be fine. Then what you're going to do is, after the spirit phase, you are going to have your end phase, where your supremacy points are totaled based on the gambits that are completed and the type of game being played. There's are different type of games that you're going to be able to play, as well as terrain. There's going to be a gambit list that you're going to be able to do. You're going to have all kinds of different deployment layouts that you can have on the board that you are going to be able to do, and how you are going to fight things out in order to complete the gambits as well as the zone objectives. And that, in a nutshell, is kind of what goes on here. A very interesting and unique twist on a tabletop game, all within this beautiful board, which is only a prototype as well as every component that you've seen here. But this is something very interesting and very, very, very strategic. It's not just, let's go, well, if I kill the guys on the other side, that's all going to be good. I mean, yeah, sure, it'd be good if you killed everybody, but also knowing when and where to move, and who to fight, and how you can get them to use up these tokens, because if these tokens change the element of the game, you might get something that really, really is going to help you, and then he can make you re-roll it, and then you can fail at it. So really a little bit of nerve-wracking, and trying to outthink your opponent as to when to use your light and dark fate. So that's it in a nutshell. Let's go up top and get my final thoughts on this very, very, very unique game, Legacy of Atmos. Hey everybody, wow. There's a lot going on with this, and you know, I didn't even really scratch the surface of this to do this the justice that I hope it would. This is very interesting, and the thing that that really caught my eye, number one, is, you know, those fate tokens and how important those fate tokens are. Okay, the really cool thing about this is you may be thinking that you've got something locked up and say, okay, wow, what a roll. And then your opponent goes on, and then no, I'm going to spend my dark fate and make you re-roll that. Okay? Or you didn't do well. He's not going to use that dark fate, and then then you're going to go, okay, well, I'm going to use my light fate, but could he use that dark fate against me if I succeed? Do I want to make him burn those dark fate? Because once you burn them, you know, once you burn them, well, you know, you're trying to earn more of them. But then again, you want to be able to use them with the fate cards, because when you use one there, then it's permanently burnt. So you have a lot of really unique decisions. Do I let them take that figure from me? Or do I really need that figure and make him re-roll that, and hopefully he doesn't do a critical damage that is going to take my figure out? There's a lot of strategy and depth to it. The board, everything was prototyped, so you know, there's a lot you can do with this. You know, if you have crystals, you can add crystals in for the crystal section. There's a lot of different things you can add terrain to this and really make this, you know, just unbelievable. And the figures for prototype, they're very unique and very beautiful. You know, they're very brittle, the prototype ones, so I was really careful because I didn't want to bang everything up too much. But I really think this is something that you need to check out on Kickstarter. Go there. October 19th is the day. This is a very unique and very interesting game. It's not just a game that's about the miniatures. It's a game of strategy that includes miniatures, if I could put that way. You know, a lot of these Kickstarters, you know, let's throw a lot of miniatures out there and get people to buy them. This seems to be more about the system and how you manipulate the figures and what they do and how you create things and the strategy behind it. And I find that very interesting. This is a very unique game. I think you should check it out. October 19th, you're going to want to be there. Go check it out. Get this thing funded, and I'm telling you, I don't think you're going to be disappointed with this. I've never steered you wrong. I wouldn't tell you something's good unless I really felt that it really has something here that's really special. And then you have the decks and everything. Oh, there's just so much to this, and it's fascinating. I keep looking at it because it's just absolutely gorgeous. Go check it out. Kickstarter, October 19th. Again, Legacy of Atmos. Well, Legacy of Atmos. You're definitely going to want to check this one out. This is very unique and very interesting. Go check it out on Kickstarter. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon.